plaintiff, Donovan Lessie, is an event promoter. And although he and the defendant were intimate, he insists they were never in a committed relationship. Donovan claims one night while he was hosting an event, the defendant vandalized his car, so he's suing. Defendant Maya Payton insists she and Donovan did date. And not only did he stay at her house regularly, but he was also close with her family. Maya denies vandalizing Donovan's car.
All right, let's start with you.
Okay, I'm suing Maya here today for approximately $3,500.
When did you all start dating?
Around June 16th, not really dating. That's when I met her, June 16th. I had an event downtown Los Angeles where she came with her friends, and that's when we first met.
Event, you a promoter?
Yes, I'm a promoter slash club, event and club, both. And then
when did you all start dating?
We didn't date. It was more of a talking stage.
Okay, you never dated?
Not dating. We were in a serious
The two of
talking.
you have never dated?
Not dated.
I guess that's
But yet you give her $3,500? Or she must have wrecked it something. There must have been some type of accident there.
Yes.
I was under the impression somehow that you let her use your car or something.
No, I was getting paid and I promoted for a strip club in Los Angeles, California. Around December 3rd, we got in an argument over a girl that I had on my social media
Why?
account.
Why would you have an argument with a person you've never dated or never shown any interest in dating?
I showed interest, I just wasn't really ready for a relationship.
So how do you get in an argument with a woman about other women if you never dated the woman? Does that make sense to you?
No.
So did you tell her that? Did you say, that was a short text, there's no argument to get in? We've never dated. You're nuts. And then don't answer any more of her texts. Let's hear from you, ma'am.
Yeah, you don't go back and forth with someone you never dated or put interest to. You don't fill a girl's head up with lies if you are dating someone. You don't go back and forth with me. If anything, he's right. You should have just said you didn't want a relationship from the get. That's not what
I never told you that.
Dated. Did you all ever go out?
We did date. The first day we were talking before June 16th. That's when he threw his party and invited me out. That night.
Where'd you all meet before
social media.
June
We were
16th?
texting.
Got it.
There's a lot of talking went on before I even seen him in person. So basically met him, dated, and I just
Dated as in you all went places together?
He stayed the night in my house multiple nights. He's really close with all my family.
Sir,
My
did you
mom
stay the
loves
night in
him.
your
Yes, I did stay at her house.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Why? You homeless?
No, I'm not.
So why'd you stay with a woman you're not dating?
I just stayed over there.
You stayed over there because you loved me. You loved my cooking. You loved laying next to me.
Okay, I did. I like
Hold
her. I
on,
like
this
her
sounding good. What? No.
I would cook for him all the time.
No, go back what you were saying. Cooking, holding you, laying
Nightly
next
massages,
to you.
all that. Like that was my boyfriend. Like did everything for him, but
And stayed overnights regularly, as he admits, but he doesn't know why. Let's get to the money, sir. How does she damage your car? 3445.
December 5th, like I was saying, I went to the club where I was getting paid to promote and bring girls. And December 3rd is when I had the argument with her about the girl that I had on my social media that came with me on December 5th to the club. I got my section in my bottle service in the section where Maya's friends came up to me December 5th while I was at the club telling me to let me know when I leave so they can move their car because they parked behind me, which I didn't understand because it's a parking lot. Why are you parked right behind me where I can't get out? And that's her friends coming up to my section. So that triggered in my head. I was like, okay, something's up. But I just went on with my night. When I was about to leave the club, I went up to her friends. I asked her, can you move your car since you guys are parked right behind me? So after that, they started laughing and giggling and stuff, wouldn't move their car. So I just went out to my car and there was just enough room for me to back out to go around the vehicle. I drove my car about a block away. My car was driving funny. I pulled up to a gas station. I said, got out the car. I seen 3 of my tires were slashed and my passenger side was keyed. Which I live in Victorville, California. I was in Hollywood, California at the time, which is about an hour, 30-minute drive. which I had no way of getting back home. So I ended up staying in my car that night, which the next day, her mother came out. I contacted her mother, told her about the story. Her mother came out, got my car towed from Hollywood, California to Victorville, California. After that,
She believed you.
Yes.
My mom, yes, like I said, my mom loves him to death and treats him like her own son, and she did that
So
all
you had
behind
a
my
lot
back.
of contact with her mom.
I met her
How
a few
often
times.
would you talk with her mom or see her mom?
Probably twice a week. I was at her house, hanging out.
All right. Did you see or someone see her do it?
No, I have text messages from her mom admitting that she
I'm
did.
not talking about her mom. You had her mom wooed because a woman you never dated, ever, you see her mom twice a week and you stay overnight with her. You have absolutely no credibility. You said you didn't see her and no one else saw. All you keep talking about is her mom who you conned. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed.
Plaintiff Linda Williams is suing her daughter, who she claims not only vandalized Linda's car, but also falsely accused her of kidnapping. Defendant Courtney Goodman denies vandalizing her mother's property, and she's countersuing because she claims Linda falsely reported her to Child Protective Services for abusing her children.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you, ma'am.
I'm Linda Williams. I'm a single parent. I have 3 daughters that I love dearly. I love all 3 of them the same, but I have one that's real messy, and the one that's messy is Courtney Goodman.
Messy in what way?
Messy in what way? If things don't go her way, she try to get back at people. Like slashing your tires, or if it's making false reports here and there, she do that.
How long has she been doing this? How long has she been messy?
I'm gonna say since she been grown. Since she been grown, she been messy.
Sounds like what you just mentioned are the things you're suing for today. So now I have the impression that the only thing she's done messy is what you're suing her for today. So that's why I'm giving you a chance to back up your general statement that she's messy. And so what other messy incidents has she engaged in?
When it was time for her oldest daughter to graduate.
How long ago?
2017.
Okay.
Her oldest daughter, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the day before she was supposed to graduate, she came to my house, beat up this little girl at my house. I had to call the police on her. Then
What did she beat her up for, to your knowledge?
Because she said the little girl lied on her, which she was supposed to be watching the little girl while her daddy went out of town to visit the little girl's mother. So the little girl couldn't get back and forth to school. So I told her, well, since they go to the same school, and since I had Courtney's oldest daughter, the judge gave me custody until she turned 18. So the day that she was supposed to graduate, she did not show up for graduation. And to me, I feel like as a mother, you should have been there. I don't give a care whether you had a way to get there or you didn't. We called her, we asked her, did she have a way to get there? She said she had a friend that's supposed to bring her. Her friend backed down, did not bring her. Then she called me as they was marching in for graduation, asked me if I can come and pick her up. I told her, no, I'm not gonna do that because as a mother, you should have been already there. Then at the time, well, after they got marched
I thought you were going to tell me the woman didn't want to come. Go ahead.
Then after I got a call from a police officer saying that I had kidnapped my
When was this?
daughter.
When? The same incident?
Same incident,
Okay.
other day, other graduation.
All right, give me another one.
Oldest
Give me
daughter.
another incident.
Well, she got mad because I told my youngest daughter boyfriend that he can use my car, take her where she had to go, She didn't want to do that. She wanted to drive my car. So, in the meanwhile, she would try to run him over in her truck, then flatten my tires.
All right.
So that ain't the first time she tried to flatten my tires.
I don't believe she would keep doing this to her own mother.
You know what?
Keep flattening her mother, because you're here today about her flattening your tires again, aren't you?
I'm like this, Judge. I am so fed up with my daughter. She is so devious.
I think you're misunderstanding it, because one of the things you contradicted yourself on, or you gave me the wrong impression on, was that she did not go to her daughter's graduation because she did not want to. Sounds like she was doing everything she can to avoid y'all.
No.
And at the last minute, she couldn't. But certainly she wanted to go. That's why she called you. Let me hear from you, young lady. What do you want to tell me?
First off, from what I knew of, Johnny Goodman had custody of my daughter. Me and Johnny Goodman had spoke on the phone because my daughter was being rebellious, okay? And instead of sending her to girls' school, I could have sent her to a church program or to my father. So first, I sent her to a church program.
When?
That didn't work too.
When?
This is probably like 2013, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my father had talked. Well, first I had sent her to a church program. It didn't work, okay? So my mother told me, well, why don't you try to send her to your father, okay? So I'm listening to my mother. I said, okay. So I called myself trying to send her to my father.
What type of things was she doing to require these type of measures?
She wanted to be out. She wanted to run around. She didn't want to do what she was told. She wanted to be the adult. And Miss Linda Williams thought she was my daughter's mother. Linda Williams.
You're right.
Basically
your mother.
Brought her into her home into her home because my daughter did not want to be at home because she didn't want to clean up. She didn't want to do her chores. She wanted to be out all types of night. I called and reported a runaway a couple of times on my daughter. And on that note, Linda Williams took her in. Linda Williams never told me she had my daughter. When I found out she had my daughter, I called the police and told the police I found her.
Did you ever try counseling for your daughter?
No.
Yes, I tried counseling for my daughter at the church program, actually.
Okay.
And that didn't work out. So that's why I sent her to my father.
Is there a resident psychologist at your church?
I'm not for sure.
Okay, counseling is not the forte of a minister. They can counsel about life. They can counsel based on scripture and their beliefs, but they're not trained as psychologists to determine how a child can correct their behavior, because sometimes the correction of that behavior requires medicine because of a chemical imbalance. You can't pray that away. Can't pray it away.
Correct.
So I'm saying that's what was necessary. And how old is she now? Because she don't have to do nothing now, I suppose, that you wanted to do.
No, she don't. My daughter is 23 years old right now.
Does she feel her life is going wrong, your daughter?
No, actually, from what I know of.
Okay, let me hear from grandma. I mean, her grandmother says she does feel her life is going wrong. And why don't you tell me about that?
Okay.
She's 23 years old. She's stressed out. She go to therapy. She see her therapy doctor. She see her doctor for, she could have her baby.
Who had her to go to therapy? Who had her to go to counseling and therapy?
She went to therapy on her own.
Good.
She chose to go to therapy.
Love it.
I didn't have her going. Courtney didn't have her going. So let's get it right. Don't act like you did when you didn't.
Well, she didn't. She said she didn't take it to counseling. She did what she knew to do. Take him to the church.
Yeah.
I have, I think, a good understanding. I believe Mama didn't know what to do, but certainly the young lady knew that she had a problem. She had that problem all her life, ma'am, and you did your best taking her to the church, but thank God she's doing that on her own. What is the property damage you're suing her for and the emotional distress?
Okay, what I'm suing her for, she flattened my tires. I had sent you evidence of my tire being slashed.
Tell me the circumstance. What made her do it, you think?
Okay.
Tell me why you think she did it.
Okay, Judge, the reason why she did it is because we asked her, was she giving her second daughter, which is, she's 20 years old, just graduated. We asked her, was she giving her a graduation party? She said no, because her sister and them had gave her one, which she wasn't invited. They didn't want her to come because she do devious and sneaky and conniving stuff. So they didn't want, my middle child did not want her at her house.
Okay. How did you get involved in that to cause her to do what you believe she's done?
I got involved in that when me and my niece, who I consider as my niece because I went with her uncle for over 15 years, me and her decided to give my granddaughter another graduation party after she graduated because she had a baby. She went back to school. She graduated on time, so we feel like that was an achievement for her.
She got mad at that? What, she thought you were upstaging her?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
And so,
yes, she did, Judge.
What happened? You came out the party and they were flat, or?
No, she slashed my tire. She slashed my tire July the 29th, day before my granddaughter graduation. That was supposed to keep me from not going, but me and my two granddaughters lived together, so I was going to go to the graduation regardless. So she figured, okay, if I slash grandma's tire, my mama tires, how is she going to get to the graduation?
1,000 other people, ma'am. Go ahead. You know that woman didn't think she could stop you by slashing your tires. She might slash them for some other reason, but it wasn't to think you wasn't going to make it.
Okay.
How many kids you got?
I got 3.
I have 3 children.
And
3
how many
girls.
grandkids and cousins and friends?
Hey, Judge.
You need to be nice to the people if you can't get a ride to your daughter's graduation, to your granddaughter's graduation. Something ain't right.
You got to know my daughter. I know my daughter.
Let me hear from you, young lady, about this. All right. Tell me about this separate event that they had, and did you get mad from that? And then when it was graduation time, you said, let me slash her tires.
Okay, actually, how this comes about. Yes, they did give my daughter a graduation party, okay? So only certain people was invited.
You weren't invited? You weren't?
I wasn't invited, okay?
Yeah, she slashed them tires. Yeah, you're right. She slashed them tires.
So listen.
Go ahead.
My cousin said, well, if you need help giving her a graduation party, I will help you. I said, okay, but I don't need no help giving her a graduation party. I don't need no help with that at all. She said, okay, what you think about me giving her a graduation party? I said, what I think about it is, I feel like that's a mother's job. That's my job, not your job or my sister's job. But since she already had a graduation party, why I gotta give her another one? Now that's what was said.
What do you know about her tires being slashed?
Last I knew when her tires got slashed, I was at work. I got off of work. I talked to her best friend's sister, which I call Aunt D. Her best friend's my godmother, okay? She asked me to come and get her when I get off because we heard about this food pantry giving a lot of food and good stuff away. But before I took her to the food pantry, I seen my mother. I asked, I said, Mama, where's your truck at? She didn't respond. I said, what's wrong with you? She didn't respond. Aunt D said, she said she has a flat tire and I'm going to take her home today. I said, oh, Okay. I said, well, fine. I'm going to let her deal with her issues, her attitudes, or whatever. Are you ready to go? ID said yes. We got in my car. We went to the food pantry. I brought ID back. She took her food out of my car, loaded her car up. I went my separate way. And then what happened, from what I heard is I get a phone call from Aunt D telling me, do you know your mother's other tire is splashed? I said, no. Do you know she's saying me and you splashed her tires? I said, no. I said, well, I don't know what she's talking about, and I really don't care.
All right, we can stop there. All right, but she has alleged you got a history of tire slashing. She said that's your thing. She said you the Freddy Krueger of tires.
That's what she said.
What's your emotional distress, ma'am?
Right after I had my window slashed, 2 days later, I was rushed to the hospital because they thought I was having a heart attack or a stroke. But I did come to find out I wasn't having no heart attack or a stroke. My stress level was so high. They sent me to my doctor. My doctor referred me to a therapist, which I send you a letter on page 12. If you look at page 12, it'll show you my stress letter. I sent my police report in. That's on page 1 and 4.
What did the police do when you told them that your daughter slashed your tires? Did they follow up?
Yes, they did.
And what did they determine? Did they decide to arrest her or not?
They said, the first one, they said we would have to wait and see if we catch her doing anything else. So that was the first report I made. Second report, when she broke my window out, had my 2 grandsons in the car.
When was this? How long after
August the 8th.
The same day?
No, August the 8th. Judge, we went to a funeral. So at the funeral, you know how they say, well, you know, this is the last time you may be able to tell your loved one you love them. I even told Courtney at the funeral, I love you, Courtney.
Do you have any evidence on the property damage?
Windows, I do.
Okay. And what evidence is that she did it?
My window, she told my granddaughter, which I got a statement from her.
There you go. Where?
On page 12, which is on page 12. It shows when she asked if she can bring the boys back home with her. And she said no, because your grandma got a restraining order on me.
She has broken her order multiple times. She busted in my house because I didn't tell her the gender of my child. This is your daughter? She says you busted in her house?
Yes. Yes, Judge. That's her daughter.
Did you bust in her house?
Oh, you talked to me, sir?
Yes,
no, actually, I didn't.
She alleged you busted in her house. She didn't allege grandma did. That's why.
Right.
Yes.
Actually, no, I didn't. I walked in due to having video of she having my kids that's underage at her home.
All right, that's enough. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all the drama. Why would she lie on you?
So because I was mad at her. Basically, what happened is after the funeral, she knew that there was a restraining order against me and my mother. She knows that my boys are underage. She knows how I feel. If I'm not welcome, my kids are not welcome. She lied to me. I asked her, are you going back to the house? Or are you going to be around your grandma? She said no, okay?
Yeah. Let me hear about the harassment that you're countersuing her for, ma'am.
Okay, the harassment is from her calling DCS on me. She called on October the 8th, 2020, and said that Linda Williams called on me and said that I was very abusive to my kids. And that's why my 2 girls don't live with me. That's one.
Well, how old are they? How old are they?
My girls are 20 and 23, and my boys are 14 and 15.
Let's move on, ma'am. They're grown. They can't take older kids. Go ahead, ma'am. Let's get to the 2 youngest ones.
They actually didn't remove my children because they looked and seen that the accusations that was thrown against me was negative.
Okay, so you're saying because she called and caused that problem for you, you believe. And what makes you believe your mother did it?
Because the lady told me that the call came from Linda Williams.
You have any evidence for that? Because that's not what they do, ma'am. In fact, that's against the law.
I do. I have evidence on paper.
Evidence that you called? They said that you called?
No, I got
Well, that's
evidence.
what I'm talking about, ma'am. No one has proven their case today, neither by evidence or testimony. You all go
Even
and
though
try
I
to
got
get along.
CPS
Bye-bye.
that she
Both your
called
claims
again.
are dismissed.
Thank you.
I love my daughter dearly, but the messy stuff that she do, I can't deal with the messy stuff. And if she quit being messy, I can deal with her. But other than that, if she gonna be messy, I don't want nothing to do with her. Point blank and simple as that.
I've disappeared from her plenty of times before. This is nothing new to me or anything. The thing is, she calls me messy. Actually, first of all, I'm not messy.
Plaintiff Denia Williams claims she's been friends with the defendant since 7th grade, but they drifted apart because the defendant is a kleptomaniac. Denia is suing her former friend for car damages. Defendant Nakia Scott says Denia is nothing but a manipulative liar who makes bad decisions when it comes to men. Nakia is countersuing Denia for emotional distress.
Start with you.
Me and Nakia have been best friends since the 7th grade. But our friendship went downhill because Nakia rather go to the store and go steal and like stick stuff like in her boobs, between her legs.
How you know?
Because I seen her do it.
Oh, you're with her when she does it?
No, I'm not.
Or you see
I
her
was
from
with
a
her
distance? How far were you when you saw her?
I was with her on that
Who you say you want?
Well, I'm not there all the time when she steals.
Any of them?
Yes.
You were there?
Yes.
What did she do?
She was putting things in her boobs, between her legs, anywhere, in her fake pregnancy stomach.
What'd you say?
She's a lookout.
Right, look out, huh?
I didn't say nothing.
What'd you do?
I didn't say nothing.
So why are you mentioning it today?
Because
you want to be charged as an accomplice.
no, I don't.
That's cute.
All right, so you say, has she ever been caught shoplifting?
Yes.
Or boosting? How many times, to your knowledge?
No, it's called
Once.
boobstin for her.
Yes, but one time.
Okay. Ma'am, let me hear from you. She
Well-
said you steal everything ain't nailed down. You got some nails? I got the hammer.
I'll go get some.
Your Honor, that is not true. But like you said, we were friends. We have been friends since the 7th grade. And I mean, throughout the friendship, it has been multiple times. Don't get me wrong. Every friendship has its problems. But Denia has been found. She's just a liar. You know, she's very manipulative. She makes bad decisions when it comes down to men, you know, and she blames everybody for her problems.
Are you a boost?
I am not, Your
You
Honor.
get on Chanel? I'll buy some Chanel.
Your Honor, I do
Or a
not
red
steal.
bottle.
Your Honor.
She can get it half?
Oh, I don't know how
I don't
much
need
she
no
charged.
copies. My wife don't take copies.
Your Honor,
That
I
would
do
be
not
illegal
steal.
to
You do
receive
steal.
stolen property, so I wouldn't do that. All right, so you have never been caught.
No.
All right.
Yes, you
That
have.
means you do it and just never been caught.
Your Honor, I did it back in my younger years long before I had a baby. It was in my teenage years.
How old are you?
22. I mean,
So you did
year
it
from
until 3
retirement.
years ago, right? All right, ma'am. And tell me why you're suing her. Give me the full lowdown on suing her.
On December the 23rd, 2017, I allowed Kia to have my old car under the circumstances of she have to pay the car note and pay it on time, $285. And after that, I will sign the car over to her. On December the 29th, 2017, she told me she got into a hit and run.
A hit and run.
Yeah.
She was running or hitting,
Your Honor, that's a
I don't know.
leaving the store.
Your Honor, that's not true. I've
Why are
always
you
been,
laughing and grinning?
because I've always been afraid to go to jail, and for somebody that says that they're my
You ain't
best
too
friend,
afraid.
you would know.
You're out there boosting.
For somebody that claims that they were my best friend, they would know that if anybody, I'm afraid to go to jail. My words were not that I got into a hit and run, because I was working overnight, so I was getting off at 4 o'clock in the morning. Because of the way my apartment complex is set up, I have to park on the side. So any and all cars come through. And like I called her and I told her, someone hit the car, but I was not in the car when it happened. So I can't tell you exactly what happened.
All right. Did she agree to pay for it?
Yes, and I have a text message to
Let's
prove
see
it.
it. Ma'am, she said she had something where you agreed to pay, did you?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
Plaintiff, fix my car. Defendant, it's gonna get fixed. Plaintiff, where you at? Defendant, come get the 21 and I'll go to the blood
bank.
blood bank in the morning and give you the 16. I thought only dope fiends do that. You selling your blood?
Your Honor, I was going to the blood bank to make up extra money just to have.
To sell your blood?
Yes.
All right. You sell your blood often?
No, I have not sold my blood in a while.
Okay. Why don't you think you should pay? Because someone did it and you didn't?
That also because of the simple fact that when I did talk to Denai over the phone and she told me not to worry about it because she was going to have the insurance cover it. And I feel as though if you're going to have the insurance cover, why am I giving you double the money?
That's a lie. I got proof right here.
Well, what happens, young lady, is that
I'll take it.
that's between her and the insurance company. But whether she has insurance or not, if it's something you've done, then you're liable. And if she receives the money from you and doesn't give it to the insurance company or does not tell the insurance company she's been fully compensated by someone else, then she's breaking the law. And you can't fail to pay a debt that you owe because you believe they're going to or should get it from somewhere else.
Your Honor, if the car was in a hit and run and I wasn't in the car during the process, I do not feel as though I should be liable. Mm-hmm. Especially if this is when it comes down to her being manipulative. You text me about certain things to try to get me caught up and then you call me.
I guess you wouldn't be liable until you say I'll pay for it. You try to tell me you didn't even say it. I'm looking right at it.
I said the car will be paid for. I never said that I will pay for it. Yep. If the car is being paid for through insurance, I'm not paying for it. It's going to get fixed. Doesn't mean that I'm saying that I'm going to pay for it. If you're going to use the insurance to pay for it, it's going to get fixed.
Okay. And your counterclaim, ma'am, how did she cause you emotional distress?
Denaya called my job telling them that I was caught stealing, and I do have evidence from my former manager. And once they went over the cameras, there was no evidence that I was caught stealing.
You have what he had?
Your manager is a female, not a male.
These 2, 3?
Oh, no, those are all just my witness statements. This one is the one.
Letter. And they said they terminated you for that reason?
My termination was done
immediately.
immediately.
Whom it may concern, I am the former manager whom terminated former employee. The reasoning for Nina's termination being that we received a phone call from Denisha stating that Nina was stealing products from our store. The termination was immediate, but an investigation was done and no evidence was found that Nina Scott was a thief. So you think she was making it up to hurt your reputation?
Yes, because the friendship at that point had already started going downhill.
That's a lie. When I was telling you the story in the beginning about how she was sticking stuff down her boobs and everywhere, that's how she got fired. And she had to pay a fine for that. That's why she got fired.
I never had to pay a fine and I was never caught stealing. And the reason I was terminated was due to the phone call. And because
so they hired you back though? How long were you off?
I haven't been able to go back because the termination was done as non-rehireable. And when I called the corporate, they told me that there was nothing they can do about it.
That's a lie.
So I left it alone.
How do you account for this?
No,
you think it's forged? Do you think
it's forged?
I have no reason to lie, nor would I sit up and forge a paper because of the simple fact that I know this can lead me into jail.
That's unlawful termination. They fired you based on erroneous information. Somebody called into your job, said you did such and such. They looked into it, saw it was wrong, yet they fired you anyway. That's, yeah, you win that employment.
They told them it was...
So we're going to have you pay her, and then you'll get your money back when your lawyer get your job back.
I mean, I'm not going to go back to the job, but...
Why aren't you going to go back?
Because it's not worth going back.
Why?
Because it's not.
Oh, so you didn't intend to work there anyway. She ain't do you any damage. Judgment for the plaintiff based on what I see here. She said she never really intended to go back anyway, so she wasn't damaged. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed.
Like, why would you lie about that? I went with you to your exit interview, so don't act like that's what they said. So stop lying. It is not gonna get you nowhere. It's not. But I wish you best on your hair career and stop trying to be like me.
I'm just glad that this is all over with. This is a friendship that's been dead for a long time. I'm gonna leave it at what it is. Words are just words. She won her case. Good for her. Now I can move on with my life and be done with it.